Kamusta? Ako si Darren Espanto, Batang Pilipino, Batang ASEAN. Halika at alamin natin kung paano nagsimula ang Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Ang ASEAN ay nabuo mula sa ASEAN Declaration na naglalaman ng mga layunin at kahalagahan ng ating samahan. Pinirmahan ito ng 5 foreign minister mula sa 5 bansa sa Southeast Asia na sina Adam Malik ng Indonesia, Narciso Ramos ng Pilipinas, Tun Abdul Razak ng Malaysia, S. Rajaratnam ng Singapore, at Tanat Koman ng Thailand. Noong January 7, 1984, naging miyembro ng ASEAN ang Brunei Darussalam na sinundan ng Vietnam noong July 28, 1995, Lao PDR at Myanmar noong July 23, 1997, at ang huli ay ang Cambodia noong April 30, 1999. Ito ang bumubuo sa tinatawag na 10 member states of ASEAN. 10 bansa, iisang hangarin. Ang pagtibayan ng ating samahan sa ASEAN bilang isang pamilyang nagtutulungan at nagmamahalan. Kaya, think ASEAN, feel ASEAN. Kamusta? Ako si Darren Espanto, Batang Pilipino, Batang ASEAN. Bilang kabataang Pilipino, kasama tayo sa mas malaking samahan ng Association of Southeast Asian Nations o ASEAN. Isang community of nations na unang pinangarap sa ASEAN Declaration noong 1967 at nabuo noong 2015. At bilang isang komunidad, tayo ay may iisang pangarap para sa kinabukasan, ang ASEAN Community Vision 2025. Ito ang susundin natin sa pagbuo ng isang rules-based, people-oriented, at people-centered ASEAN community. Kasama dito ang mga blueprint para palakasin ang 3 pillar ng ASEAN. At siyang magiging gabay natin para sa isang maunlad, masaya, at payapang rehiyon. Kaya laging tandaan, think ASEAN, feel ASEAN.
Welcome to CHED Connect, a higher education open educational resource application. CHED Connect contains higher education materials which are useful for teaching, learning, and research purposes. It allows learners and educators to access content anytime, anywhere, free of charge. No registration needed. Just type in the keyword of the topic you wish to search. Click on the categories of the Philippine Standard Classification of Education and browse your way to its rich content. CHED Connect is easy to use. Just key in your area of interest. The site offers different relevant and interesting materials to choose from. Scholarly prepared, accomplished, and uploaded by competent faculty members and contributors from various partner Philippine higher education institutions. Guided by the principles of open educational resources, these materials such as PDF, audio files, ebooks, presentations, videos, and many more are very beneficial. CHED Connect. We educate as one.
Good afternoon, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to our 15th webinar entitled Leading Towards Research Excellence in Higher Education Across Asian Nations. This webinar is broadcasted live via HECBOL's Facebook page and YouTube channel. Let us begin this momentous event with our Philippine National Anthem, followed by a prayer and Asian video.
Mana Manama, mawantog ka. Warpoko iring ko'y ko. O Diyos, kahibulungan ka. Musa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم فقال ربكم ادعوني أستجب لكم آمين يا رب العالمين الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين اللهم اجمع شمل المسلمين والكريستيان والأمة في مدينة دباو وسلم دائما مجتمعنا هذا بالسلم والأمن والتقدم في بلدنا هذا آمين يا رب العالمين ربنا لا تزغ قلوبنا بعد إذ هديتنا وهب لنا من لدنك رحمة إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا إنك أنت الوهاب ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار وصلى الله على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين آمين يا رب العالمين.
In the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. Amen. Our most gracious Heavenly Father, we come to you today to praise and worship you and give you thanks for all the things you continue to provide for ourselves and our families. Father, we humbly ask for forgiveness for all the times we have offended you, when we forget to acknowledge your presence in the image of our brothers and sisters, and for moments we fail to be good stewards of the blessings you have given us. Continue to guide and protect each one of us, Lord, that we may always walk in the light of your everlasting love and mercy. Grant us, Father, with your comfort in times of distress and with your strength in times of weakness. Bestow upon us your unending grace and healing, that we may in turn become instruments of gentleness and compassion to others. We ask all this in the name of your Son, our Lord Jesus Christ, with the prayer and the intercession of our Blessed Mother. Amen.
Manama, mawantog ka. Warpoko iring ko'y ko. O Diyos, kahibulungan ka. Musa ikaw lang ang simbahon ko. Musa ikaw lang ang alagaran ko.
Pursuant to Proclamation Number 282, dated July 31, 2018, August is declared as ASEAN Month. In view of its foundation on August 8, 1967, and in commemoration of ASEAN's 53rd founding anniversary this year, the Commission on Higher Education joined in building efforts to increase ASEAN awareness with the theme Cohesive and Responsive ASEAN. This ASEAN Month celebration is the initiative of the International Affairs Office in building internationalization and competitiveness program. This afternoon, we go all the way to Singapore and Malaysia as two renowned and highly competitive speakers will share their knowledge on academic research. I am Eden Stephanie Bolido, your moderator this afternoon. To formally begin this program, please help me welcome the OIC Director of CHED International Affairs Staff, Attorney Lily Freda T. Milia.
To the dynamic, innovative, committed, hardworking, and ever lovely Dr. Nelia Alibin, Director in charge of the CHED program on higher education in the context of the Bangsamoro Organic Law, or what we call HECBOL, to your hardworking staff and personnel of the HECBOL office, to all the higher education institutions within the Bangsamoro Autonomous Region in Muslim Mindanao and other regions that are watching us right now, officials, faculty, staff, and students. A very pleasant morning to everyone. Magandang umaga po sa inyong lahat. I would like to also greet everyone happy 53rd founding anniversary of ASEAN. We celebrated its founding last August 8, 2020, and in line with this auspicious event, the Commission, as it always had in the past few years, endeavored to host commemorative activities with the help of our regional office. I think this is the first time that the HECBOL office is joining us. So this is a very important occasion as we bring the message and the vision and ideals of ASEAN within the BARM region. So we would like to continue spreading awareness about ASEAN and what it means to be part of the ASEAN community and to be an ASEAN citizen. Building on Vietnam's ASEAN chairmanship theme of cohesive and responsive ASEAN and the current challenges faced by the country and the region due to the COVID-19 pandemic, this initiative aims to be a platform for higher education stakeholders to highlight ideas on how ASEAN's efforts as a unified regional bloc help its member states address opportunities and challenges globally and regionally, with special focus on the pandemic's socio-cultural repercussion. The United Nations calls the COVID-19 outbreak a human, economic, and social crisis. It has upended the lives of various segments of the population, with the poor and vulnerable people bearing the brunt of the pandemic's health and economic impacts. So beginning March 2019, the countries have began imposing strict measures to curb the spread of the virus, such as strict quarantines, shutdown of schools and universities, and travel restrictions. ASEAN, as a regional bloc, has gone to great lengths in ensuring that its member states respond to the many challenges posed by the crisis and the emergence of the new normal. During the 36th ASEAN summit held on June 26, 2020, discussions focus on post-pandemic recovery, initiatives focus on the establishment of an ASEAN COVID-19 response fund, a medical supplies reserve, and an ASEAN standard procedures for responding to epidemics. All this perfectly fit Vietnam's theme for its chairmanship of the ASEAN this year, cohesive and responsive. Higher education is not spared from the COVID-19's unfortunate effects. In addition to the various initiatives undertaken by the Commission to ensure continued access to education in these trying times, we continue to work with our counterparts in ASEAN and beyond in harmonizing higher education in the region through a wide range of platforms and mechanisms. So just recently, the chairman signed a memorandum on the adoption of the ASEAN Plus 3 guidelines on transcript and supplemental documents for academic record of exchange students, which aims to promote transparency and mutual understanding, encourage institutional accountability and mutual trust, ensure the safe mobility for our students, and contribute to the larger goal of creating a harmonized higher education. And this also complements with the ASEAN Plus 3 guidelines on student exchanges and mutual mobility. On flexible learning, we have also connected with many of our partners within ASEAN and beyond to bring about to help and assist the universities, the colleges, the faculty and the staff as the higher education system transitions to a flexible learning system. We're also looking into virtual internships and immersions as another area that within the flexible learning system. As part of the ASEAN community, we have actively participated in efforts to build connectivity through people to people exchanges in general and higher education in particular. And in recognition of the importance of contributing to community building, we've made it a priority to celebrate ASEAN Month annually. There's been a tradition to involve our regional offices to bring ASEAN closer to everyone. And as I said, for this year, this is the first time that HECBOL is joining us. So the BARM region is um, joining very actively with very interesting competitions like the photography and the short film. And I really look forward to um, watching this competition, looking at into the works of our students because these are very important areas for us. Learnings also for CHED on how we can truly push within the BARM area the vision for ASEAN community. It is very laudable that also the HECBOL continues to um, we're able to create these programs considering the restrictions on mobility, and of course everybody is busy with the flexible learning. But I'm truly grateful that Director Nels and her staff exerted a lot of efforts, and to all the higher education institutions that participated to come together and celebrate ASEAN, um, the 53rd anniversary of ASEAN. But it does not stop with just this celebration. Our next task for the regions are to measure the impact of the ASEAN community building in higher education per region. We seek that the ideals and vision of community building are not mere paper commitments, but living and active testament of its vision, especially the ASEAN vision for 2020, a shared vision of ASEAN as a concert of Southeast Asian nations, outward looking, living in peace, stability, and prosperity, bonded together in partnership, in dynamic development, and in a community of caring societies. This will also, of course, usher the ASEAN Community Vision 2025, which resolves to consolidate the ASEAN community, building upon and deepening the integration process to realize a rules-based, people-oriented, people-centered ASEAN community where people will enjoy human rights and fundamental freedoms of higher quality of life and benefits of community building, reinforcing our sense of togetherness and common identity, guided by the purposes and principles of the ASEAN Charter. On this occasion, we celebrate not only its founding and its many achievements over the course of 53 years, but also our identity and spirit as a family of nations, united in facing challenges and opportunities in this increasingly globalized world with all the disruptions and the uncertainty of the future. In this time of COVID 19, while it has limited our mobility, it must never overcome our hope and passion for community building and people to people connectivity. It is our hope that our 2020 ASEAN Month celebration reminds us of our strength as peoples of ASEAN, the increasing importance of thriving in diversity, and honoring our place in the ASEAN community. Again, congratulations to um, to the HECBOL office, to all our participating HEIs in the BARB region. We we await and we look forward to seeing you also in the celebration in 2021 and beyond. Mabuhay po kayong lahat.
Thank you so much, Attorney Milia, for that very dynamic and inspiring opening remarks. To set the international ambience of today's event, ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome the Assistant Secretary of the Office of Asian Affairs of the Department of Foreign Affairs, Honorable Juniver M. Mahilom West.
Attorney Lily Freda Macabangon Milia, Officer in charge of the Commission on Higher Education, Dr. Exequiel C. Cabanda, Postdoctoral Fellow of the National University of Singapore, Dr. Fiffy Hanisdah binti Saikim, Program Coordinator of the University Malaysia, Sabah, honored guests, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon, magandang hapon po sa ating lahat. I thank the Commission on Higher Education for providing a venue to inform students about ASEAN's work in human capital development, especially this ASEAN month of August. We also wish to share with everyone that right now, in the middle of the COVID pandemic, the Philippines is set to play a potentially pivotal role in ASEAN's cooperation in human resource development. I refer to the Philippines hosting of the ASEAN Education Ministers meeting towards the end of this year, as well as the inaugural chairmanship of the recently established ASEAN Tibet Council for 2 years by the Philippines Technical Education and Skills Development Agency, or TESDA. But first, let us go back to the very start of ASEAN to see the importance of education to regional cooperation. The ASEAN Declaration, the document which created ASEAN, was signed on August 8, 1967 by the foreign ministers of the original 5 founding states. They agreed to engage in, and I quote, cooperation in the economic, social, cultural, technical, educational, and other fields, and in the promotion of regional peace and security, close quotation marks. Now, 50 years later, ASEAN continues to build on this cooperation in recognition of the essential role that education plays in ASEAN's community building, and simultaneously, each ASEAN member state's road towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. Then COVID-19 happened, a game changer that is ushering us to a different normal, compelling us to rethink our past paradigms and to reboot and reset what we have already started. The unprecedented challenge of the pandemic represents all at once a health, economic, and social crisis, resulting in a death toll of 825,000 people and infecting some 24.18 million people around the world. How should the world respond? How can we recover? In the area of education, let me sum up a forecast of the World Economic Forum on global education. COVID-19 will usher in a long overdue revolution in education, and a new model of the education system is going to emerge in the post-pandemic period. Moreover, it is going to be the higher education segment that is going to trigger and lead the revolution. The beginning of this revolution can be seen in our nascent reliance on distance learning methodologies, on digital and broadcast platforms, and on modular learning. A whole new ecosystem of emerging subjects for integration in our curricula includes the following: recovery from the pandemic, which should be gender responsive; human capital development through upskilling and reskilling for the fourth industrial revolution; assisting micro, small, and medium enterprises, and assisting innovation as well; digital literacy, building a sufficient digital infrastructure and cybersecurity safeguards; building back better by strengthening our capacity to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals; establishing resilient and responsive public health and social welfare system to make us resilient in facing future challenges; fostering inclusive growth and narrowing inequalities so as to leave no one behind; climate change mitigation, environmental protection, biodiversity conservation, green growth, and last but not least, for an archipelagic state like the Philippines, the blue economy. Textbooks are yet to be written for most of these subjects. There is rich potential for pioneering research. It's a brave new world in research as well as innovative curriculum development, especially in collaboration with partners for what I call Education 4.0. No one country has a monopoly on knowledge. Each individual possesses unique circumstances that guarantee a wealth of experience that would be of value to other people's research. Our problem solving has become richer, more efficient, and of deeper quality because of the networks formed in higher education. We need to work even harder and to be even bolder in engaging our partners, according to ASEAN Secretary General Lim Jokhoi, to create even more opportunities for exchanges and encourage meaningful and productive partnerships that expand our knowledge and expertise. Through research and development and sheer will of the human race, we now see vaccines on stage 3 trials mere months away from the emergence of the virus. This is an unprecedented and tremendous feat unheard of in human history, and a testament to how cooperation, research, and development can provide global solutions that benefit the human race. The International Affairs staff within the Commission on Higher Education, or CHED, coordinates the international dimensions of CHED's work, including establishing cooperation through international and regional bodies or networks and linkages between local and overseas institutions. This is another important function of CHED, as it is an opportunity for the academe to synergize and, through their varied experiences, to come up with creative solutions to global problems. I believe that education and research are among the best tools to enable the region to respond effectively to the pandemic, to recover, to achieve its community building objectives, and to realize the Sustainable Development Goals. I congratulate CHED for its tireless efforts in recognizing the importance of education and research through forging of partnerships and collaboration that will allow ASEAN students to level up to their capacities and, with hard work and perseverance, propose solutions to global problems for a more sustainable world. On behalf of the officers and staff of the Department of Foreign Affairs, Office of ASEAN Affairs, I thank CHED for this meaningful commemoration of ASEAN Month. Let us keep working together to contribute to building a strong, resilient, caring, and responsive ASEAN community. Maraming salamat po at mabuhay.
Thank you very much, Honorable West, for your support in our endeavors. At this time, let me present our first guest speaker. He finished his doctorate degree in public policy and global research at Nanyang Technological University, Singapore, with the thesis, The Immigration of Filipino Nurses, Policies, Bilateral Cooperation and Migration Development. Currently, he is the Postdoctoral Fellow of Asian Migration Cluster, Asia Research Institute of National University of Singapore. He received various grants and awards. One of his most credible awards is the Award for Excellence in Tutoring for academic year 2016 to 2017. He has a number of publications, book chapters, and referred journals. His field experience entails more on Asian student mobility. Ladies and gentlemen, it is with great honor and pride that I present to you our first guest speaker, Dr. Exequiel Cabanda. Hello, Doc. Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, and thank you so much, CHED-HECBOL, for your invitation to be part of this very formal event on academic research and so on. I'll share first my screen. Let's give a moment. Yes. If you can see my screen right now, I cannot see my. Okay. So again, I would like to say good afternoon, good morning, or even good evening to all the viewers and also our colleagues, wherever part of the world they are. And I would like to specifically greet all of my academic friends. They are strategically located in different SUCs all over the country, and those who are also teaching in different private universities. I would like to also acknowledge some of the academics, Filipino academics here in Singapore, who are either teaching or doing postdoctoral research in NTU, Nanyang Technological University, as well as the National University of Singapore, and also the Singapore Management University. Thank you so much again for this opportunity. So this afternoon, I'm entitling my presentation, Pursuing Academic Research, Thoughts for Filipino Aspiring Scholars. Just like Ms. Eden was saying earlier on, I'm Exequiel Cabanda. I'm a postdoctoral fellow at the Asia Research Institute of the National University of Singapore. So to start with, I will have only like around 20 minutes of presentation this afternoon, but I expect a very good question and answer, because I believe always that through question and answer, we can dig deeper of the topic. So the outline of my presentation this afternoon, I will give you some context on academic research, especially the Philippines and ASEAN. I will move forward with characteristics of Philippine higher education academic research. And then I will move also to why academic research is important for Filipino scholars. And this is a little bit of a personal note about my academic journey and some sort of blah, blah, blah. And how can you develop skills on academic research? So this is just like a very simple presentation, but I hope everyone will learn something today. Before I proceed with my next slide, I'm very grateful that this event that has been organized by CHED-HECBOL has given me a refreshing thought of ASEAN. I have been involved in many activities of ASEAN in terms of higher education research when I was a PhD student and working as a postdoctoral fellow also in my previous university. And I'm very happy, and I'm sure some of them are listening in most of these different countries in the ASEAN. Okay, so let's look at first this this context. I would like to contextualize how we are doing as ASEAN in terms of research. So in this slide, I'm showing to you the Nature Index of ASEAN countries. So Nature Index has been Nature Journal is one of the top or even the top journals in terms of natural sciences, and it is a benchmark of how good a country is in terms of research and especially in terms of science and technology. So these are actually like Asian countries, and I have highlighted in here ASEAN countries. So when we look at this is like the 2019 to 2020 data. So when you look at here, we have the country here, we have the count, and we have the share. I don't want to specifically define what are this, but according to my presentation, a count is assigned to an institution or a country or a region if one or more authors of the research article are from the institution or country region, regardless of how many co-authors are from outside that institution or country region. So it actually talks about how many people from the Philippines or ASEAN countries or these countries are actually submitting or have published in a Nature journal. This is a collection of 82 Nature Index journals. So as we can see in here, we see Singapore as the top in terms of ASEAN, considering they are really good in terms of research universities and funding. We have Thailand, Malaysia, Vietnam, Indonesia. Now we're thinking, where is the Philippines? So in the next slide, I show you the Philippines. The Philippines is just right after Sri Lanka, above Myanmar, above Brunei, Cambodia. Sorry, the highlight is not Brunei, but it's Fiji. So it's Cambodia and Laos. So when you look at it, ASEAN countries are a little bit at the downside in terms of publication in Nature Index. And especially the Philippines, we are a little bit lower than other countries, even at the bottom of Vietnam. So how are we going to contextualize this? I will explain later. Next, this is the Nature Index of Filipino researchers. So again, we are focusing here in terms of natural sciences or science and technology. So between 2019 to 2020, the Philippines has published, the Filipino scholars located in the Philippines has a total count of 46. And most of this publication came from life sciences and then earth and environmental sciences, physical sciences, and also chemistry. When we look at the table on your left, these are the institutions that are actually contributed to this publications. As we can see, we have the International Rice Research Institute. There are some Filipino scholars there, but this is not a Filipino research institute. This is a collaborative research institute. And we have the RITM, which is a government research institute. We have the University of the Philippines, Diliman, De La Salle University, Manila Observatory, Ateneo de Manila, Agriculture Sustainability Initiatives of Nature Incorporated, and the National Research Council of the Philippines. And we even have Mapua University and the University of the Philippines, Visayas. So these universities all over the Philippines, we have so many universities in the Philippines. If you cannot count it, even the SUCs, there are so many universities. But you just imagine that these are just the universities who are publishing in Nature Index journals. And we only, between 2019 to 2020, we only have at least 46 in terms of counting. So what are these figures telling us? There is really something wrong in terms of academic research in the Philippines, and also in terms of science and technology researches. I am not here to present something that will disappoint everyone or even disappoint CHED, because the common goal here is to create something within Filipino scholars that we will be inspired to do more. being part of the ASEAN. And this also involves collaboration with different universities in the ASEAN. And later on, I will tell you my experience of this collaboration. Again, we are not faring well in terms of publication in nature journals based on this index. So, what are the characteristics of the Philippine higher education academic research? This is an honest to goodness assessment of how we are doing and faring well in terms of academic research. Beginning this COVID situation early this year, I have this outreach program in different universities all over the Philippines through my colleagues or some of my friends who are based in the universities to conduct capacity building program or projects with my own efforts in terms of creating a academic culture, academic research culture in different universities. And I have spoken to Cavite State University. I have spoken to different universities in Mindanao. I have spoken also to some universities in Manila. And even I have spoken to St. Paul University in Dumaguete. So my target here is actually to spread out the word that we need to improve in terms of academic research. And I really focus on literature review, which I believe is the least among the most important aspect of how we view research is, but it is the most important. So what are the characteristics of Philippine higher education academic research? When you look at it, it's a little bit negative, but let us structure it in a very positive manner. In terms of academic research, when we are teaching our graduate students or even our undergraduate students, because in the Philippines, we all have thesis. We all graduate as an undergraduate with a bachelor's degree, and part of that requirement is that we need to have a thesis. Okay? Unlike in some other universities in ASEAN, for example, in Singapore, not everyone can write a thesis. Okay? So in the Philippines, everyone in all universities, part of the baccalaureate degree requirement is to write a thesis and even to defend it. So how do we do it? One of the characteristics in terms of this kind of research, we're talking about academic research, is that it is very structured, but I believe it is an outdated use of chapter 1 to 5 with a template for thesis and dissertation. So this is not a criticism, but an observation for us to actually think it over, to reflect. When I was an undergraduate student, I went to National Bookstore and Rex Bookstore and was able to find how to write a thesis. And I'm sure every one of you have used similar kinds of books. And during that time, I'm very overwhelmed. What are this is what we need to write in chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter 5. And I'm very, very confused that you cannot even write your own specific, outline in terms of your research. So throughout my journey, I went to Japan for my master's degree and eventually in Singapore. And one of the observations that I have, I know we have a lot of viewers here all over the country who are products of, different kinds of foreign educated, education. And I believe this is one of their concerns also. So one of the requirements of my thesis supervisor was to write an outline of my thesis. I was asking myself, why should I write an outline for a thesis that in chapter 1, you have to write this. In chapter 2, you have to write this. Chapter 1, background. Chapter 2, literature review. Chapter 3, methodology. Chapter 4, results and discussion. And chapter 5, conclusions and recommendations. I was thinking, why do I need to write this? And I suddenly discovered that there is no exact or even correct template or structure in terms of thesis writing, which actually during my undergraduate have experienced. So what are these? We are very much structured that you cannot even go beyond on it. For example, chapter 2, literature review. This is one of the things that I continuously advocated in the universities that I've been speaking to. There is a distinction between literature and studies. There is a distinction between foreign literature and local studies. Foreign studies and also local literature. What are this? What is the difference between literature and studies? What is the difference between foreign and local? So if your paper or the references that you're putting in your literature review is, is a local journal, you will put it there. So this is just like very confusing, and it truly creates confusion among students, among graduate students, and even professors. Oh, this is not a local literature. This is actually a foreign literature. Now, what happens? It created confusion. It created, students cannot think creatively anymore on how to write literature review because they are very careful on what to include and how to classify them. We have to be pay forward, and we have to actually consider reflecting on this. There is no such thing as a superstructure in terms of writing a thesis. It's always upon the discretion of the student and also the supervisor in order to bring forth what kind of research questions, what kind of methodology and findings, and your contribution to knowledge in terms of this research. Remember, we're talking about academic research. Next, we have less or unmerited focus on literature review. Again, chapter 2 of the thesis, it seems like you just have to write everything. Even your professor, even the panel members will not even bother to write it. Will not even bother to read it because it's so tedious. For all researchers out there, in fact that literature review is the heart of the thesis, because in any research, you cannot have any research at all without a very thorough and correct literature review. Because from the literature review, you can be able to find what is missing in this existing literature of what you're studying, and that is what is your thesis and your research is all about. Next, the focus on policy-related research than academic research. The theme this afternoon is how we can make, excel. How can we excel in terms of academic research? And again, we have to make a distinction. What is an academic research and what is a policy-related research? When you look at it, when I was in the Philippines a long time ago, when you read every thesis, at least in the social sciences that I read it, and even in in social sciences, even in business also and so on, when you read it, it feels like it's not academic research, but there's literature review, methods, and so on, because it's more of policy related. You have recommendations. Why is it policy related? Because you are recommending something. You can recommend something to the government. You can recommend something to the universities. You can recommend to specific people. In the first place, when you're doing academic research, you are not recommending for policy turn or policy solutions or so on. You are contributing to knowledge. And this is the most important thing that we have to understand. Policy-related research contributes to what you call it policy planning, policy review, and as well as in terms of making or legislating policy. But academic research is contributing to the overall knowledge. And natural scientists who are watching right now knows about it. They know that academic research is about contributing to existing knowledge, and that is in theory. Policy-related research, it is contributing to policy process. So we have to understand the distinction. And most of our research in the Philippines is not actually academic research. It's policy-related research. And I think there should be a separate webinar on having a distinction between the two. Policy-related research and academic research. Next, unintentional publishing on predatory journals for promotion and tenure. I know everyone could relate to this. You know, right now, as we elevate ourselves among ASEAN countries and also in terms of global university ranking, one of the key indicator for this is for us to have good publications. Now, everyone wants to publish and so on, but there are also, you know, in the business sector is also responding to these needs. In order for everyone to publish, let's create a predatory journals. I believe CHED has issued warning on this, and universities has also issued warning on this, but it is still a practice among us. Again, why are we disseminating our results and our research in these journals that cannot even benefit knowledge? Let's focus on high quality journals. Next, the absence of postdoctoral fellowship. And I think policymakers should really reflect on this. You know why universities in the world, including ASEAN countries, especially Singapore, are excelling in terms of academic research? Because there is a very big pool of funds for postdoctoral fellowship. Postdoctoral fellowship is, like me, I'm a postdoctoral fellow. It is a job, it is a research fellowship after you finish your PhD in order for you to actually build your research potential. And postdoctoral fellowship are usually a product, usually produce a lot of researches in terms of science, technology, social science, even humanities. So in the Philippines, I haven't heard of any university, correct me if I'm wrong, during the, how do you call it, during the question and answer, if there is a university that offers postdoctoral fellowship. Most of the Filipino scholars usually go abroad for postdoctoral fellowship. And I believe ERI is also offering postdoctoral fellowship, but ERI is exceptional. It is an international organization. So we don't have this. We don't have this. It's just like so amazing. How can we build ourselves in terms of academic research that even in science and technology, we don't have postdoctoral fellowship? Some of my friends even ask me, what is a postdoctoral fellowship? So even that kind of mindset, we don't know. So I think we need to reflect on this. And it's time for our policymakers to look at it if we really wanted to invest in terms of academic research. Next, why academic research is important for Filipino scholars. Yes, indeed, this is the main theme of my presentation. And I believe, based on the invitation of HECBOL, we have to really touch on this. Why academic research is important for Filipino scholars. Again, we have to make sure that in our mindset, this is academic research, okay? So number one, it will help us establish who we are in the map of knowledge circulation. Right now, when you read journals, specific journals, for example, in the field of, my field, I will just for my field, in the field of migration studies, there's so many great migration scholars who are Filipino. There are, some of them are in the Philippines, some of them are in Singapore, some of them in the US, and some of them in Europe. But when we think about it, they're not actually, most of them, I'm not saying all, most of them are not Philippine university educated. They did not graduate their PhDs in Philippine universities. And when you look at migration, look at different scholars, you can tell that this is a Filipino, but when you look at the affiliation, it is from a different university abroad. Let us reflect on that. When Filipino scholars, especially if you are homegrown scholars in the Philippines, academic research will help us map ourselves in knowledge circulation, that we can tell that is the person, this person graduated from this Philippine university, and this person is a very well-known scholar in this specific field. That's how important it is. Now, it's less common to find Filipinos who excel, for example, in physics. Well, there are known physicists in the Philippines, but when you look at them in the global map of knowledge circulation, most of our physicists in the Philippines are unknown. In terms of engineering, in terms of architecture, in terms of medicine, in terms of nursing, we can hardly find them. That's why when you go to international conferences, especially in the field of social sciences, where there are few Filipino scholars from the Philippines, are recognizable. Why academic research is important for Filipino scholars? Because we are engaging in scholarly debates that contribute to discoveries of new knowledge and innovation. When we look at it, how many Filipinos, homegrown Filipino scholars, homegrown, graduated from the Philippines, who have discovered new knowledge, innovation in terms of specific field in science, technology, social science, or humanities. I think we can pinpoint 5, 10, 15. It's quite rare. It's quite rare. That's why it's very important. Next, it facilitates the accumulation of knowledge, which has a multiplier effect and economic development. I am an economics major when I was in undergraduate. And we believe that education has a multiplier effect and contributes to economic development. And how education can contribute to economic development? Definitely, one of the main components is research. And that, I am telling you, it is academic research. These three is very important for Filipino scholars to really embark on academic research. Next, how about my academic journey? I apologize, I have to really point this out to encourage all of us who wants to really who are aspiring Filipino scholars and venture in academic profession in terms of academic research. My journey as an academic is not very easy because I am I am a late bloomer in terms of academic experience. I spent 10 years working, or even more than 10 years, working in private and public enterprises in economics, finance, and development work. And currently, I'm a political scientist. So this is very late already because in universities all over the world who are embarking on academic degree or academic profession or academic career, they usually have a continuous education. After graduating undergraduate degree, they proceed to master's, and then after master's, they proceed to PhD. And postdoctoral fellowship is sometimes their first academic job. There are even students as young as 24 who are already PhDs and are already starting their PhDs because they skip masters because they're just too good. Okay? So, in short, I am one of the senior citizens when I was studying for my PhD because I am a late bloomer. I studied for my master's degree in Japan in 2009 and then went back to the Philippines, do my other work, and I also taught in the Philippines top universities. But I believe I lack academic training without a PhD degree because you cannot be a full-fledged academic or an academic scholar or an academic field if you don't have a PhD degree. When you look at the top universities, even in the ASEAN, when you look at the profiles of professors, these are all PhDs. Seldom you can see that there is a master's student or a master's degree and even an undergraduate degree, which is still one of the practices in the Philippines right now. But CHED is doing a good job in elevating this culture in order for us to be at par to other countries, especially in the ASEAN. And then because of this reflection, I decided to pursue PhD studies in Singapore in 2014. It has been a very, very long journey. And now I am developing my research capability as a postdoctoral fellow at the National University of Singapore Asia Research Institute. So this is not a usual journey if you are going to embark in academic career. This is a sudden U-turn from doing a more professional kind of work in the corporate world. So what research am I doing now? This is very, very special to me in terms of reflecting and in terms of sharing this, because I have been involved with CHED and I have been involved with ASEAN in terms of the EU share. It started like an EU share project. Now it's called a share project. It is a collaboration between the European Union and also the ASEAN in terms of, capacity building, in terms of student mobility, and of course in the future in terms of academic staff mobility. So when I was doing this research, I am not actually representing the Philippines. I am going there as a researcher from Singapore. So I participated in different policy dialogues in terms of student mobility in the Philippines and even in Myanmar. And I have met also Attorney Milia and some of the brightest students from the Philippines who participated in this program. And I believe for the Philippine perspective, this is one of the successful programs that CHED is handling in terms of higher education internationalization. And we have to be proud as Filipinos because the first ever president of the ASEAN University Student Council is a Filipino. And that is one of the landmarks that we have to truly understand. So I am a political scientist. I do nurse migration, and I studied skilled migration and higher education nexus, higher education policies, and higher education regionalism, which is the share is part of it. Why did I highlight skilled migration and higher education nexus here? Because when you look at different kinds of studies, especially in the field of migration that I am doing, the Philippine higher education system is not actually producing people to become scholars or to pursue academic research career. We are producing Filipino graduates to become skilled workers abroad. So that is a reflection why we are not faring well in terms of academic research, because we are not producing and investing into knowledge in terms of advancement, innovation, and advancement of research. So I conducted intensive ethnography on the EU Share Student Mobility Forums and also the Asia-Europe Foundation Student and Rectors Conference. So I met different kinds of Filipino scholars who are very, very much participative in terms of ASEAN and how they can take part in these share projects. And I believe CHED is very successful in our encouraging Filipinos to actually go abroad within ASEAN countries and even in Europe to participate in this program, because it created and it will bring forth knowledge circulation, the transfer of knowledge, which can enhance our research potential and as well as our academic potential. In one of the publications that I've written during the time that I'm doing this kind of work is about higher education regionalism in Asia, where ASEAN right now has a competitor. We are aware that there is an ASEAN university network of universities. Right now, there are so many regions in terms of higher education collaboration around Asia, and some of the ASEAN universities are also involved. So I've written a piece in there, and if you're interested, you can check my profile and read about it. So how can we or you develop skills on academic research? This is very important, and I believe everyone in ASEAN right now watching or over the world can partake and can learn from it. Number one, if you want to really pursue an academic job, which requires a lot of academic research, because that's about tenure and promotion and so on. Number one, please reflect, study PhD. CHED has many scholarships that invite many young and even mid-career academics to pursue PhD studies in the Philippine University or even abroad. You can check CHED website on this. There are a lot of scholarship available. Why don't we try to actually partake on this and pursue PhD studies? Next, let's study abroad. This is not about, Philippinism. This is not about, patriotism. Studying abroad, there's so many academic research that talks about how important knowledge transfer is. So, study abroad and in any way try to share your ideas and knowledge that you have learned abroad to the Philippines. You can embark an academic career in the Philippines, or you can do capacity building and help Filipino researchers to improve themselves. Next is pursue postdoctoral fellowship. Postdoctoral fellowship is a very good training ground and a very good job for fresh PhDs to embark on academic research, because you will be involved in many research projects that you will handle, and one of the output of this research project is actually a publication. Let's engage in knowledge transfer. That's what I'm doing. And I hope all other Filipino scholars who are based abroad can do this. Let's try to help Filipino scholars based in the Philippines improve themselves in terms of research. And then lastly, publish academic articles. Let's publish academic articles, please. There's so many journals that we can publish, and please avoid predatory journals. I can have a separate webinar in some of your universities in the future for all of this, especially in the literature review. You can ask people whom I have already conducted a webinar, and the response is very, very overwhelming. So let's partake in this. Let's engage in knowledge transfer, publish academic articles. And thank you so much. I hope I did not exceed the time limit. You can send me email if you want me to, conduct capacity building in your respective universities. I'm particularly interested to universities in the periphery. When you say periphery, those universities that cannot even take advantage of, through research training, because let us admit it, there are so many organizations right now in the Philippines that are embarking on this, but are not really teaching us on how to do through academic research. And with that, thank you so much, and I'm looking forward to all your questions.
Thank you very much, Dr. Exequiel, for that very informative presentation on academic research in the perspective of a Filipino working in Singapore. So we really learned a lot from you, Doc. So see you later for our live question and answer portion. At this time, let me present to you our second guest speaker. She is a senior lecturer and program coordinator of Asean Mobility for Students, AIMS, Universiti Malaysia, Sabah. She finished her doctorate degree in tourism in James Cook University, Australia, and took her Master of Science degree in University Malaysia, Sabah. She is under the Institute of Tropical Biology and Conservation, University Malaysia. She has undertaken various scientific endeavors and affiliated in different organizations and research projects, such as Borneo Geographic Expedition 2019, Borneo Ecotourism Solutions and Technologies Society in 2018, Ministry of Tourism, Culture and Environment, Sabah, Kinabatangan Beyond 2020 Tourism Perspectives. Her credible track record in academic research made her a prominent contributor of knowledge in the field and in an institution as general. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dr. Fiffy Hanisdah binti Saikim.
Hello, hi everyone. Thank you very much, Miss Eden. Thank you, everyone. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening to everyone, wherever you are. Today, I would like to share with you my slides. Let me share the screen first. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for having me today. Today I would like to share with you the context of Malaysia's on how Malaysia's becoming the knowledge destinations for research excellence. Okay, this is Malaysia. Malaysia is part of the country of the Southeast Asia, and it was divided into two non-contiguous regions. The first one known as the Peninsular Malaysia at the west, and at the east in the island of Borneo, where the states of Sabah and Sarawak situated. Okay, so today is actually a public holiday in Malaysia. We are celebrating our 63rd Independence Day. Yay to Malaysia! Okay. So Malaysia has becoming a great in terms of research destinations around the globe. Through Malaysia Education Blueprints for higher education, we have exceeded what we want to accomplish. We have reached our target. Okay, our target under the Malaysia Blueprint, we have 10 shifts to transform the higher education system so that we are renowned in the global research arena. So I highlighted under this 10 shift of transform, there are two important shifts that we need to highlight here during this talk today. The first one is the innovation ecosystem, and the other one is the global prominence. Innovations, they're definitely very related to research excellence. Global prominence also one of the main contributor on how a certain higher education institutions visible in the research arena, especially in the global arena. So we are very fortunate in Malaysia because we have a very strong, supportive Ministry of Higher Education, where they have support
So there is some technical problem in the line of Dr. Fifi. So while waiting for her to come back, may I request all our audience, especially our live audience, to please post your questions or some clarification in the comment section via Facebook or in our YouTube channel. So after this webinar also, we will be having an awarding for our photography and short filmmaking contest. So you can also watch and witness this very momentous event. So thank you so much for CHED International Affairs Office, headed by Attorney Lily Freyda Milia, for giving us an opportunity to give this program to the BARM region and to all higher education institutions across the nation.
Hey, hello. Terribly sorry because of the internet connections. Even though we are next to each other, Malaysia and Philippines, but the internet connection is not.
It's okay, Dr. Fifi. That's just normal for us. Yeah, so I'll give back to you the floor. You may continue your presentation.
Yes, sure, sure. Okay. Okay, terribly sorry for the internet connections. Let me continue where we stopped. Okay, as I mentioned previously, we have a very strong support from our Ministry of Higher Education, and through this support, all Malaysian institutions, including public and the private colleges and all, we're trying our best, okay, to give a certain output from the strong national investment by our Ministry of Higher Education. So therefore, it can be seen by the growing presence of our institution in the World QS ranking, as well as the research output. So as you can
Dr.
see,
Fifi,
yes?
excuse me for a moment, but we cannot see your presentation. Kindly share screen first.
Oh, sorry. Okay, let me share again my share screen.
All right, thank
Okay.
you very much.
Can you see it my screen now? Sorry for the interruptions.
Yes,
Okay.
it's okay now.
Okay, so basically we have a very strong support from our higher educations, and all institutions plays a major role in contributing on in terms of the outputs of each of the higher institutions. So based on the Asia ranking, World QS ranking in Asia 2020, 29 Malaysian universities rank in the QS Asia ranking, top 550. And then we have Asia's top 100. We have 6 Malaysia's institutions, public universities, who are quite excellent in the QS ranking. UKM, University National Malaysia, University Putra Malaysia, University Science Malaysia, and then University Technology Malaysia, and University Technology Petronas. Okay, and here are the best universities ranking in Southeast Asia, and we have 5 universities ranking in this Southeast Asia ranking. Now, Malaysia has becoming quite well known as an education hub. This is because based on the recent QS best student cities, we ranked 29th as best cities in the world 2019, and the second in most affordable cities in the world for students. So therefore, our internalizations in terms of students' mobility, students' exchange, and even full-time international students had increased drastically. Okay, so it shows that we are moving, we are leading, we are moving forward to become an excellence education hub for everyone. Okay, let's go back to the main topic, is the research excellence and beyond. Previously, we have learned a lot from Dr. Cabanda about the importance of academic research. Here, I would also like to stress that academic research is very, very important, especially for the academia. Okay, but in the age of globalizations, okay, the ever-changing world. Sometimes we are from at the bottoms, now we are at the top. So how are we going to move forward and stay immersed in the academic research, especially developing countries and in the Asian, like Malaysia, like Philippines, and all? So the key words here. I quote from our Malaysian education's blueprint. The 2 keywords is that innovations and global prominence is very much important, especially for academic research to stay focused in an ever-changing global. So innovations and collaboration. Collaborations here is referring to internationalizations networking. So meaning to say, we are not moving alone. We are not moving just inside our own country, but we need to think beyond or beyond our own country. So networking has become the fundamental in terms of academic emergence, especially in the field of research excellence. Okay, and then for me, from my personal perspective, a very rich and diverse ecosystem of research, meaning to say we have collaborations from different society, different industry, different countries, different academia, will give a very rich and diverse in terms of impacts and output. Okay, we want to be different. We want to make ourselves voice out in the research arena. So we need to stand out. But how are we going to stand out? Meaning to say, fundamental or basic research is no longer that important. Okay, we need to show the impacts of our research. Impacts here, how our research will contribute to the knowledge or the ever-changing world or human progression or industry. So when you think about academic research, think about how your knowledge can contribute or to the human progression, to the industrial revolution, etc., etc. So we need to make ourselves stand out, make ourselves different from other research publication, so that when we write, we just write. But the most important thing is that when you write, you want people to cite you. When people cite you, okay, citation, when people cite you, your research has been acknowledged. Your work is being acknowledged by others. So that's the most important things in as a researcher, as an academia. Our work being cited, our work being read, and then being used or being and become a model by everyone, by other researchers. So we want that. Okay. So to achieve world-class standard, universities must improve research capabilities and excellence that contribute to society. That is what I said. Impact. How are we going to get the impact? Through collaborations. Okay? Not collaborate in terms of among your field. Make it transnational. Make it multidisciplinary. Okay, that will create a greater impact, especially on the research research excellence. Okay, so in today's world, it is more difficult for individuals to do research by themselves. We cannot do research by ourselves nowadays. Okay, we must move from the fundamental, move from driven discipline, and move and then go beyond. Okay, innovations. Because through innovation, you can create impact. Okay, how impact is through collaboration. The main thing is that innovations, collaboration. That's what we call glocalization. You go local, but in the same time, try to internalizations your research so that it will fit the world-class standard. Okay. Okay, the publish or perish. Yes, I know everyone needs to publish. If you're not publishing in because we are academia, okay, we're sitting in universities, in colleges, okay. So if we are not published, definitely we will perish, okay. But this kind of mentality only works in the academic world. We are sharing our knowledge among ourselves. Okay, among ourselves. So now we need to shift the mentality, okay, to shift our mentality. Yes, we still need to publish, but yes, we need the citation. Because through citation, people read your work, people knows what you're doing, okay, people want, then the visibility of your university, of course, will gain the global recognition. So citation is very important, but how are we going to get the citation? Is through innovation in terms of research, multidisciplinary, transnational networking. Okay, especially to create impact, we need to go beyond basic knowledge, try to come up with a research where we can access to industries, to societies, and try to intervene what are the problems is this society and industries is having, and we try to do research on how to intervene this kind of problem. And through this pure research, pure what we said an impact research, definitely will gain a lot of citations in the research arena globally. Okay, so let's look into UMS, my university. Okay, our university, UMS, is the 9th Malaysian public university located in Kota Kinabalu, Sabah. We are not the research university. We are a comprehensive university. Therefore, our focus is quite different from research universities. But however, we always strive to be excellent, so that we are at par with the research university in Malaysia. Okay, we are nicknamed as the University for the Rakyat. Okay, the Rakyat here is actually referring to the people, because in Sabah, we before UMS, we don't have a public university in Sabah. So the society requests for a public university to be built in Sabah. So the government built a university, and we as academia felt very honored, because through this, words, and then through the support from these people, a university was built. So our mindset is to be known to the people that what we have researched in the university will benefit to the people. So therefore, we are nicknamed as the University for the Rakyat, or for the people. Okay, so UMS, like I said previously, we are not research university, but we have a different categories on how we excellence in the field of research. We are also in the World University Ranking in 2021. We are in the number of 801 to 1,000. We have a very renowned subject in terms of world ranking, agriculture and forestry, 301 to 350. And we are number 211 in the Ancient University ranking. Like I said, we are not research university, but we are striving, and we are moving forward to become at par with the research university in Malaysia. So how are we going to be at par as the other research universities in Malaysia or the rest of the universities in the world? So we have come up with a strategy map for 2018 and 2020. As you can see, I highlighted there innovation, and visibility globally. We are aligning our strategy map according to the Malaysia Education Blueprint. Under the 10 shift, there are two prominent shifts that I've discussing here. The one in terms of research excellence, that is the innovation ecosystem and global prominence. So we are aware that innovation is very important in terms of research excellence. We want to move forward than just discipline-driven research or fundamental research. We want to make an impact. When you're making an impact, a research that has an impact, definitely there will be citation from other people, other researchers, or other whoever who want to cite the paper. So we are aligning to that. We are moving forward to that purpose. Okay. So the strategic plan is, like I said, we have 6 key result areas that we want to focus on. But again, I highlighted here number 2 and number 3, high impact research and innovation. How are we going to get a high impact research is through innovation, societal and industrial impact. So we need this kind of research, research in terms of research excellence. Of course, global prominence. How are we going to get global visibility is through a very powerful, high impact, innovative research focus, okay? So previously, in UMS Research Ecosystem and Innovation, it divided into service entities and research entities. Previously, in the service entities, we only have like the Research and Innovation Management Center, UMS Press, Center of Instrumentation and Science Services, and EcoCampus. While at the research entities, previously we only have 4 research institutes, that is the Institute for Tropical Biology and Conservation, Borneo Marine Research Institute, Biotechnology Research Institute, and Borneo Institute for Indigenous Studies. Previously, we have only these research entities that will contribute in terms of research and publication, citation, of course. But then we realize that it is not enough. Okay, so we look into the global prominence. When we look back, the definitions of global prominence, standard, world standard, research focused output, impact output. So it needs more than just these research entities and these service entities. When we look into inclusivity, translational, collaboration, networking, innovations, commercialization, localization from local to international arena, in terms of research, we need everyone to play their role. So beside these 4 research entities, we added all faculties, all research units, and all centers to contribute in our research excellence agenda for University Malaysia Sabah. While for the service entities, we need global prominence. So therefore, we add in the Center for Internalization and Global Engagement. And then we want research impact, where we can contribute to the society and the industry. We get the engagement from the Center for Industry and Community Networking. And of course, to make sure that we are following the key result area, the strategic plan, we need the involvement from the Center for Strategic Management and Corporate Communication. So everyone in the university plays their role effectively. When everyone plays their role effectively, the future, the target goal to become a research excellence, not only in Malaysia, but in the global arena, could definitely be achieved. So everyone needs to play their role, whether they're in the service entities or they're in the research entities. Okay. So these are the strategy objective and how are we going to achieve that research excellence. Okay. Because like previously I've mentioned, we are not going to write a very discipline-driven or very basic or very fundamental research. We need impact. So when your research have a greater impact to the society, to the national, to the industry, therefore people will cite our work. And how are we going to get that? So the strategy for UMS is to get society engagement. Society engagement, this referring to the local community, industry, NGO, and even the government agencies. Like say, for example, we are having problem here in Sabah, human-wildlife conflict. Okay, so government agencies need people from the academia to teach them the way forward on how we manage or how we mitigate or how we minimize the impact of this human-wildlife conflict. So through good research, then of course a policy plan or a policy management on how to deal with this will definitely come out of this research. And then it was published and everyone can of course cite it on how to, because we have a very strong research output. So definitely people will cite the work. And then we get people to work on the product commercialization. This is more on how we get the local community to get involved, the industry to get involved with the university, okay, to identify and nurture potential product. And then we also provide solutions, intervention, okay, through solution, intervention, knowledge transfer, university social responsibility. We give some sort of idea on what kind of research we will focus on, okay? When you know what kind of research that you need to focus and it is problem solve, research, then of course it will have a greater impact to your particular research. Okay. And then the second objective is to enhance high impact research program. How are we going to enhance that? Of course, through number of index publication. Like I said, you publish, we can publish thousands of publication, but to get global recognition, to get academia recognition, you need to have citation. So how are we going to create citation? Okay, to increase the citation, of course, through encourage multidiscipline research, translational, multidiscipline research, networking from other universities, from other academia, other countries, realignment of research ecosystem. We need to realize we need to have a strong support from the Ministry of Higher Education as well as our own universities. Without a strong support from them, definitely it's not going to be a very good process, because to publish in Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4 publication or even Scopus need a lot of money and it's very expensive. So how are we going to pay for that publication fees? That is why people slowly turned into predatory journal, because something is free, okay, and then it's easy to be accepted. But that's not going to create high impact research environment in our higher education. So we need strong support from our ministry and as well as our higher education institution. Plus, to write the paper, it's very difficult, you see. Okay, to come up with one publication is very hard. I tell you, it's very hard as compared to write a thesis, because thesis, you already know, chapter 1 is about introduction, chapter 2, literature review. But to write a good impact publication, a journal, a manuscript is very, very difficult. So how are we going to encourage our academia to write a good paper, impact paper? So we give them merit-driven incentive. Okay, we encourage them to publish more. And when they publish more, they're being recognized globally. Of course, they will receive merit from the university. University also plays a very important role in terms of supporting the academia to continue to publish, to continue create a good research. Okay. Okay, like I said, difference probably the same as other university as well. We are we are following quadruple helix model, meaning to say we engage with public authorities, we engage with the industry, we engage with the citizens, the academia. Okay, so when we engage with all these people in the research realm, of course, our publication, our research will have an impact. Okay, impact. We want innovation, and how are we going to innovate our discipline-driven research is through this model, quadruple helix model. Okay, because from this kind of model, it can create impact. Okay, this is the UMS niche. From discipline-centric, we're moving forward to issue-driven, such as like the aquaculture for socio-economic game changer. Okay, we're not only learning about aquaculture, because previously we learned about aquaculture, the basic how to do aqua farming, but now it needs to be more or less helping benefited the community. Okay, how it's going to do it? By socio-economic game changer. Smart farming and agri-food industry, development and empowerment of indigenous people, biodiversity and environmental sustainability, tourism and social innovation, public health and societal well-being. Okay, so how are we going to achieve the impact? Is through strategic partners. We get along with our partners. We play the role as, you know, contributing in terms of a good proper research. Okay, and then we also have a collaborations in terms of, you know, networking with other countries to support our research environment in UMS. And then, like I said, you need to have a very strong support from the Ministry of Higher Education as well as your university. For example, in UMS, we have a very strong support from our ministry. It gives us opportunity to apply grants from the ministry, and then we have also internal grant from our university supporting our academia. Okay, and then here are some of the examples of how we UMS excel in terms of, benefited our research benefited to the society, to the industry. So we get along with all this, our community, our NGOs, our partners. So from research driven to issue, okay, solving intervention. This is what UMS is doing. And then we're also helping in terms of sustainable livelihood for the poor, okay? And then the community will get in terms of a monetary benefit from the research. And then this is another another engagement with the community, because we have a lot of research done in mushrooms, in fungi, okay, but the community, some of them cannot differentiate which one is the toxic, which one is non-toxic. So this is the opportunity, okay, this is an opportunity for researcher to teach, to tell the community which one is non-toxic, which one is toxic, and an opportunity in terms of research writing, get to know the community perspective about fungi, okay? And then this is our researcher in terms of aquaculture, okay? We're not only researching about our fish, how to do good management in terms of aqua farming, but also sharing our research about aquaculture to the community, to the students as well. Okay, this is another examples of a very good knowledge transfer program from Universiti Malaysia Sabah. This is helping the poor community to get clean water. Okay, research driven about water quality, and then knowledge transfer on how to support this community that has no water supply. Okay, this community, they don't have a river nearby, they don't have a groundwater, so they only have a natural pond, which is quite not suitable for drinking. So this professor come up with research about problem solving intervention to help this community to get clean water supply. And then this is also a research driven biotechnology product, and then knowledge transfer to industry, and then they come up with a very good products for the industry. And then we also have our university social responsibility, USR, because we believe through USR we'll get more visibilities for the university, and then we get to know from the grassroots what are the problems they are facing and what we as a researcher can contribute in terms of research to help this community. And then not forgetting, okay, even though we are moving forward for research based on impact, based on society, based on industries, but we never forget about the basic, okay, the basic knowledge, the basic science of researching. So we also keep on continuous do the fundamental, okay, but with a twist of innovations. Okay, we also believe during the COVID-19, we have a lot of, problems at the grassroots level. So we're trying our best to facilitate the grassroots problem and try our best to intervene with innovation. So these are some of our intervention problem solving during the COVID-19 situation in Sabah. Okay, so we help the community on how to because some of the farmers cannot sell their fresh produce, so it get rotten easily. So we help them to intervene on in terms of innovation on how to get the product being used, not being thrown away. Okay, and we're also supporting the hospitals in terms of the COVID-19 testing. So we have a very good lab in UMS, and we're supporting our government in terms of COVID-19 testing. We've tested over 3,300 samples of COVID-19. So that's our contributions to the society, to the government. Okay, so what are the game changer? In terms of research excellence, we need game changer. Need game changer that can create impact, that will eventually help the researcher to gain visibility in the international level. So the game changers should be multidisciplinary, that addressing all the niches, translational, combining research and innovation, demand-driven collaboration with community, policymaker, seeking for impact, not just outcomes. Okay, so these are a few projects of our game changer program, game changer project. We have the Eco River Petagas, where we help the government to clean up the river. And then we have a Kina Geopark project, where we help to promote sustainable tourism development in the Kinabalu Park. And then we have this knowledge transfer in terms of community well-being in science and technology in the rural community. And we also providing research and in terms of smart agriculture through securing bioeconomies, this agriculture project. Okay, before I end my sharing today, I would like to share with everyone a short video about UMS. Thank you, terima kasih, and salamat.
Thank you very much, Dr. Fifi, for that very good presentation on academic research in the perspective of Malaysian. Okay, so now we will be having our discussion and our live question and answer portion. Okay, so let's start with our pre-registered question. Okay, this is from Jofrim Delicano of Fiati University. So this is the question. How do our neighbor ASEAN countries continue with their research and development despite the pandemic? So any thoughts on this?
Do you want to go ahead first?
Okay, Dr. Fifi first.
Okay. Well, even though we're having this pandemic worldwide, it's not an excuse for us not doing, research, research, publication, and all. It gives you a very much opportunity to highlight, to even focus more on what you are doing. Okay, right now, because without the pandemic, I think everyone must be very busy with teaching, must be very busy with other things. So this is an opportunity for everyone to continue with their R&D. Okay, for example, because myself, I was in the field of nature tourism, so I cannot do research. Okay, this is an excuse. I cannot do research because no more tourists coming to Sabah. Okay, but it is not an excuse. We can change the twist a bit or your research focus, maybe about the society, public, and there is a lot of platform where you can get your questionnaire being answered, because we have this online monkey questionnaire survey and all. So this is not an excuse for us to, because of pandemic, we cannot focus on R&D. So I think together, especially in terms of networking, of course, we can share our thought, our research areas from our ASEAN countries. Okay, what we call it, sharing, exchange of information, and creating a good impact of research on that particular focus, like the research focus. Okay.
I'll share my personal experience and also how other people from the field of humanities and social sciences do research or continue their R&D during this pandemic period. So right now in the field of humanities and social sciences, there's what we call the use of digital methods and the use of term in methodology field work from a distance. So we usually do digital methods. So instead of going out for field work to do interviews, to do ethnography, to do how do you call that, to survey, we use digital methods. For example, right now, ethnography has been used to observe people. You go to different places. Now there's what you call digital ethnography. There's also what you call the use of different digital methods. But in the increasing world of ethics and institutional review boards, we have to adjust it all. We have to adjust all of that. One thing that I have not mentioned earlier on, one of the impediments and also one of the prospects and also how do you call that, opportunities for academic research is the use of institutional review board, ethics clearance. So from the place and institution of the country that has been from right now working, we cannot do research that includes human subject if there is no approval of ethics. So it's very difficult. So right now, we are doing field work in the field itself, but we're using digital methods now, so we have to revise our ethics approval. So these are the things. Now people are shifting to digital methods. Harvard of the use of digital methods in terms of doing humanities and social science research. Thank you so much, Joffrey Delecano from Fiati University, for your questions.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Fifi and Dr. X. Yeah, so it's really a very good insight that research and development must not stop, and pandemic must never be an excuse to continue education.
Yes.
Okay, so moving on to the next question, please. So this is from Dr. Asmawan. This is from University of Malaysia, Sabah. Okay, so yeah,
Dr.
we're going
X should answer.
international. Uh,
Dr. X should answer it first.
Okay. Um,
okay.
in terms of can we build an established research center or chapter across Asian countries, not only ASEAN or Asian countries? Of course, there's so many collaborative research centers in different universities in Asia and especially ASEAN also. So there are many ASEAN, how do you call, research center located in Thailand, even Indonesia, and some of them are also like funded here in Singapore. We don't have to forget that there is an ASEAN scholarship. So ASEAN scholarship are sponsoring undergraduate students and even master's and PhD students, less on PhD, but they are actually helping these students to do academic work. So it's not impossible that we can build this research center to strengthen ASEAN identity in terms of research. But let us not forget, collaboration includes top universities and donor countries and also funding requirements. So some universities abroad only collaborate with universities of Asean. So let us understand that this is the reality of research now. So people will only collaborate to different universities if they can only also get something. So in international relations, there is a theory called cooperation. Why people cooperate? So there's always mutual benefit among them. And in terms of research right now, make sure that there's expertise, there is funding, and of course, publishable materials.
Yeah, I think we should build and establish at least a chapter, ASEAN chapter in one of the country, because it's very important to have a specific ASEAN, because we want to become a stronger ASEAN. Okay, to become a stronger ASEAN, to get national or international global visibility in essence of Asian, we Asian countries need to collaborate together. And how are we going to, because nowadays we are doing our research, self-centered. We don't know our ASEAN country whether we are doing this kind of research or not. So it's good to have a chapter across ASEAN country so that we can, collaborate and everyone knows about the collaborations, and this is help to strengthen even our essence of the ASEAN itself, so that it will have a world standard. So people from the UK, US will recognize we as a collective Asian countries research. That's what my opinion.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Fifi and Dr. Exequiel. And I really believe that it's really more on collaboration, and in due time, there will be establishment of that center for research and development. Okay, so in the interest of time, I think we're going to have one more question. So this will be from our Facebook Live. Okay, this is the question from Dr. Saidamin Bagolong. So what strategy can you share to encourage faculty members to conduct research despite of the incentives and other remuneration provided to them?
Dr. Fifi, I think.
Okay.
Okay. Because in University of Malaysia Sabah, we also put in one of our strategy, remunerations for academia. Okay, incentive to support our academia. But beside remuneration or incentive, we need to at least to have a strong support from our institution itself. Strong support in terms of helping us to reduce bureaucracy. Okay, bureaucracy among our university itself, to especially, and then one more thing is to help us to smooth our research development, meaning to say, if we are having grants, the university should support us to minimize all these problem in terms of applications, in terms of what else, paying for our research assistant. So everything needs to have a focus, support. not only from the research sector, but also from the treasury of our institution, and then from our what else in the university treasury, and then the bureaucracy from the human resource also, and then have a strong support in terms of training, okay, of our local researcher. Okay, I believe that will encourage more, our academia to write, especially in terms of reduce the bureaucracy.
That's right. How about for Dr. Exequiel?
So I am not yet on a tenure track, so I will present my answer based on postdoctoral researcher. So in universities, especially if you're starting your postdoctoral fellowship, how can you be encouraged to conduct research? Number one, I think it's common for tenure track also, because I have an idea, because I'm going there at that side in few months' time. So when I look at it, you have to look at funding, because you cannot do research without funding. So there should be enough funding in terms of conducting research. There could be small grants, big grants, or super big grants that faculty members or researchers like me can tap and apply as a principal investigator. So with funds, you can pay for your RA, you can pay for your postdoc, you can pay for whoever you want to pay in order for you to conduct research. And in terms of tenure track where people are leading there, as a postdoc, what strategy can you encourage me to conduct research? Definitely, I need research in order for me to get a tenure track. So there is a postdoctoral fellowship because they're preparing you to accumulate research to be ready for a tenure track. So if you are already on a tenure track, how can they encourage you to conduct research? It's already embedded in this system. You cannot be tenured without a research. So you really need to do research unless you don't want to be a tenure track, which future academia doesn't want. You are there, you wanted to be a tenure track, so you need to do research, because one of the biggest requirement, I believe, like very big requirement, is a very good peer-reviewed publication and the accumulation of your citations. So these are the things that we need to think about. So sometimes in the Philippines, we're so myopic to think about like how can we encourage. We're already in the academia. We need to do research because we're moving forward. Are you satisfied being a lecturer forever? Of course not, right? You wanted to elevate in the academic ladder. So let us reflect on that. And if you're a postdoctoral researcher, you're doing postdoc because you're going to do research, and then also you're going to be a tenure track. So if you're not going to do research as a postdoc, then you cannot move on to another level, which is tenure track. So that's how it should be done.
Right, I agree. So it would be a non-stop further development. Okay, so at this point, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Exequiel, and of course, Dr. Fiffy, for gracing this activity and for sharing your very good knowledge and expertise in terms of academic research. So with that, may I ask for your parting words for our audience? Let's start with Dr. Fiffy or Dr. Exequiel.
Dr. Fifi.
Okay.
Thank you very much for all the audiences today. I'm sorry in case of we have internet connections problem just now. I hope you can gain knowledge on what I'm sharing with you today. And I'm also hopefully we can create a very good networking in not only on research development, but also in terms of student exchange, student mobility, talent exchange between our countries. Because for me, the essence of Asian itself is very important, because without the collaboration from the ASEAN countries itself, we will never be, we will always behind from the other developed country. So we need to get ourselves together in the essence of ASEAN, so that we can together we build our research development, together we collaborate, together we build a very strong research focus between the ASEAN countries. I hope maybe not this year, next year, or maybe the next 5 years, we can see more collaborations between Malaysia and Philippines in not only on the research field, but yeah, like I said, student exchange. Please do come and register yourself as our students, postdoctorate students, undergraduate students, or postgraduate students in University Malaysia Sabah. Come and visit us to discover UMS yourself, so that people know the difference UMS from other universities or institutions in Malaysia. Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you, Ched. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, lovely Eden.
Yeah, for my parting words, I would like to thank Ched and HECBOL, especially for this opportunity to share something. Um, I believe that we need something to wake us up. So there's so many questions I have been reading in the Facebook Live as well as YouTube. There's so many questions about how do we do this, what kind of topics do we need to research on, what kind of things that we need. I think right now for Philippine universities, especially those who have not been reached by capacity building, I believe that we should start from the very beginning. We should start from how to do research and what is research. Number one, let's try to learn what is a really literature review. This is something that we need to reflect on as Filipino scholars. We need to start from the very basic. What is a research question? What is a literature review? What is a methodology? Let us go back to the philosophy of science. Let's go back to ontology, to epistemology, and so on. Because if we cannot understand this, we cannot move forward as academic researchers. For Filipino scholars all over the world, and this is a tribute to all of us who are aspiring, who are Filipino scholars, there are many Filipino scholars who are known in the field, not in the Philippines right now. And I think it's a challenge for the Philippine government. Please bring us back in the Philippines, that we can do research, provide funding, give us less teaching load to the university, so that we can do research. There's so many good scholars. I believe that CHED and UST has the Balik Scientist Program. How can you bring back also the Balik Social Scientist Program? I mean, to bring back social scientists, humanities, and so on. There are many good people outside the Philippines, and these people also wanted to go back to the Philippines. But the problem is, I believe that there's no field for us to go back. So please allow us to go back and do research, and then we'll make the Philippines rigorous in terms of academic research. And with that, thank you so much.
Wow, very good. Thank you very much, Dr. Exequiel, for that very inspiring thoughts, and I think a very good challenge for all of us. And with that, again, I'd like to thank my sincerest gratitude to both of you for accepting our invitation and for selflessly sharing your expertise in the realm of research. So with that, thank you very much once again, and we hope to still connect with you in Malaysia and in Singapore and across Asian nation.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in to our webinar. So next, we'll be having our awarding for the short film and of course photography contest. And of course, feedback form of this webinar will be sent within an hour to those who have pre-registered. You can fill out the feedback form until September 7th, 2020 at 5 p.m. So after filling out, you'll receive your certificates via email. Okay, so this time I'll call in my partner, Sergine, for the live awarding ceremony. Hello, Sergine.
Hi, Miss Eden. Good afternoon, and good afternoon to all our viewers in HECBOL's Facebook page and YouTube Live. Good afternoon. Thank you, Miss Eden, for that very brief introduction. In a while, we will be beginning our virtual awarding ceremony for the CHED-HECBOL's photography and short filmmaking contest. So stay tuned and sit back. Sit back.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Sergine.
The year 2020 marks ASEAN's 5 years of community building, halfway to Vision 2025, a community of peace, prosperity, and sustainability. Vietnam has the honor to be the chair of ASEAN in 2020. We endeavor to further strengthen ASEAN unity and solidarity, regional integration and connectivity, promote ASEAN commonalities and awareness, deepen ASEAN engagement with a global community, and enhance ASEAN institutional capacity. We underline the importance of promoting ASEAN proactiveness and creativity in response to the rapid changes in the global landscape, non-traditional challenges, and the Industrial Revolution 4.0. Vietnam wishes to bring to ASEAN and partners its charming beauty and warm hospitality. Welcome to Vietnam. ASEAN 2020, cohesive and responsive. Think community, act community.
There you have it once again, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for watching and tuning in to the virtual awarding of CHED-HECBOL's photography and short filmmaking contest. This is also in line with the celebration of the Commission on Higher Education of the 2020 ASEAN Month, which is, of course, chaired by Vietnam. All right, so without further ado, please help me welcome the director of the HECBOL project, Dr. Nelia A. Alibin, for the opening remarks.
Thank you, Jean. Good afternoon, everyone. This is the culmination of our celebration for our ASEAN Month in honor of the regional bloc's founding on August 8, 1967. In commemoration of the ASEAN's 53rd founding anniversary for this year, the Commission on Higher Education, through the HECBOL project, is joining the higher education sector in building efforts to increase ASEAN awareness. This ASEAN Month celebration is an annual event that is meant to spread awareness and public support and enjoin our stakeholders to celebrate the founding anniversary of ASEAN. In light of the COVID-19 pandemic, this year is also the first virtual ASEAN celebration that is live-streamed through the Commission's HECBOL's FB page and YouTube channel. This year's theme is Cohesive and Responsive ASEAN, which build on Vietnam's ASEAN chairmanship. It is important to instill in the minds of the Filipino people the importance, value, and meaning of the ASEAN in achieving and maintaining regional peace and sustainable development. ASEAN means working together with one vision, one identity, one community. That's the motto of the ASEAN. The goal of regional cooperation is to facilitate common interest, unifying the region through mutual cooperation, while simultaneously recognizing each country's cultural, social, and economic identity. Yet, recent trends, including increased geopolitical polarization, trade conflicts, and health crises, including the outbreak of COVID-19, threaten the interconnectedness of the region. But just like what our President Rodrigo Duterte said, with a deeper sense of common purpose, Southeast Asian countries will continue to work together as one ASEAN and strengthen partnerships with friends within and outside the region. In the case of the HECBOL project, we organized 2 competitions using the theme Innovation in Higher Education towards a Cohesive and Responsive ASEAN. The first is the photography contest that is open to all college students and faculty members in both public and private BARM higher education institutions. And the other is a short filmmaking competition with participation from college students and faculty members from private and public higher education institutions in the Philippines. I want to congratulate all the participants, especially the faculty members and students who joined in the two competitions. With special acknowledgement to the presidents, heads, and officials of the higher education institutions for the assistance provided to the participants. I also would like to thank the Commission on Higher Education for all the support, headed by our Chair, J. Prospero Popoy de Vera III, and the Commissioners, Dr. Perfecto A. Alibin, Dr. Ronald L. Adamat, Dr. Lilian L. de las Llagas, and Dr. Aldrin A. Darila, together with our Executive Director, Attorney Cinderella Filipina S. Benitez Haro, and of course, our OIC Deputy Executive Director, Attorney Lily Frida M. Milia. I also want to thank the members of the CHED-HECBOL Technical Working Group, Director Cor Cabanilla, Director 3 and Chief of Staff of the Office of the Chairperson, Dr. Maximo C. Aljibe, the Regional Director of CHED Region 7, and Attorney Ryan L. Esteves, OIC of the Office of the Executive Director of UNIFAST, or the Unified Financial Assistance System for Tertiary Education. Special mention also to the International Affairs staff headed by our very dynamic and beautiful Director, Attorney Lily Milia, for putting together and facilitating the successful conduct of CHED's 2020 ASEAN Month celebration. Congratulations to your team. May I also mention your staff, Ms. Mabel Gutierrez, Ms. Cleo, and Ms. Jamaica for facilitating all our requests. I also want to thank the members of the Board of Judges. In the photography contest, Dr. Cesar A. Adiga IV, the Education Supervisor of the Arts and Sciences Program of CHED-11. Engineer Maria Cristina B. Condes, the Education Supervisor of the Engineering Programs of CHED-11. And Mr. Michael Asituge, Costume Engineer of Canon Philippines. For the short filmmaking contest, I would also like to thank Engineer Luis D. Perez, the Chief Education Program Specialist of CHED-11, Mr. Rodrigo S. Pangantihon Jr., the Education Supervisor 2, in charge of Computer Science and IT-related programs of Region 11, and Mr. Chris Herald Duco, a cinematographer of indie films and at the same time CEO of the Chris Duco Films. The webinar and this virtual awarding will not be made possible without the help of the CHED-HECBOL team because of the efforts made by these beautiful and handsome individuals, Jean, Yani, Eden, and Epep. Thank you, HECBOL team. Congratulations to all. So with that, I'm sure everybody is excited to know the winners of the two contests. This is the day that you've all been waiting for, the announcement and virtual awarding. As a final note, let me express my gratitude on behalf of the Commission on Higher Education and of course the HECBOL project. I express my sincere thanks to all the many individuals from CHED, all the contestants and participants, all the HEIs that participated, and to all our subscribers and followers. Maraming salamat po. Incidentally, today, we are also celebrating our National Heroes Day. This is a public holiday to honor and remember the country's national heroes. These heroes are the men and women in Philippine history whose acts of courage enabled the Philippines to grow as a nation. This is held every last Monday of August. This date was chosen as it marked the beginning of the Cry of Pugadlawin in 1896, the start of the Philippine Revolution against the Spanish colonizers. So to everyone, Happy National Heroes Day. We are all heroes in our own special way. Let me end with a quote by Henry Ford when he said, "Coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success." Thank you for making this special event and activity successful.
Thank you, Director Nelia, for that opening remarks. And now, without further ado, let's proceed with the reading of the the reading of the criteria for judging for the photography contest. First, we have online votes, which comprises 10%, photography quality, 15%, originality and creativity, that's 20%, content and adherence to theme, 20%, storytelling and message of the photo for 35%, which brings us to a total of 100%. Now, to help us with judging the entries, we have the panel of judges. First, we have Mr. Michael Asotige, a customer engineer of Canon Philippines. We have Dr. Cesar Adige, fourth, the education supervisor 2 of CHED-HECBOL Region 11. We have Engineer Maria Cristina B. Condes, MEPECE, education supervisor 2 of CHED-HECBOL 11. Now, to give you a glimpse of what transpired during the judging day, here's a short video.
Good morning and congratulations to all entries. You presented a very unique presentation, not minding of any technology know-how, but you just presented of who you are and what you are in your area of presentation. But I like the most the first entry. It created some unique presentation without minding the surroundings, without minding how it would look like, making it more original in its approach. The other one presentation is the entry number 4, where it provided a scenario when one that has capability or the means, it provided some aspect of originality also, that it is like that when you have, but at the same time, problem when connectivity is a question. The other entry that I like is entry number 5. It made mention, or rather it provided an aspect about ASEAN. Though it connect less to some aspect, but at least it was able to present what it would like to portray when trying to connect with the whole world, which is ASEAN. So with all the presentation, at least they presented a very unique aspect of who they are, what they are, and what they can provide for education. Thank you very much and good luck. And at the same time, congratulations.
Good morning. So far, the entries were quite unique and good. As I checked them, they really complemented with their area in the Bangsamoro. My first pick to be the top image, I think portrayed a lot more into the criteria of which the team is most are like connected to each other. The second and third for me are like tied in the scoring because for me their composition is quite unique and good as well. But some aspects like the image quality quite became a big factor in considering the third and second for me. So congratulations to all the winners, and I hope for the next year, if ever they create another contest, more entries would be joining into the contest. Thank you.
Okay, good morning. And my congratulations to all the entries, most especially to the winners to be declared by HECBOL later. So my top 3 entries, presented the best photos, showing how our BARM stakeholders, most especially the students, adapted to the new normal. So again, good luck to all the entries and congratulations to the winners.
There you have it, folks. That's what happened during the judging day of the photography contest here in CHED-HECBOL 11 in Davao City. Now, most of you are probably wondering what's in store for our winners. Well, we have here the list of prizes. So first, for the second runner-up, we have 5,000 pesos. For first runner-up, we have 8,000 pesos. For the grand prize, we have 10,000 pesos. We also have consolation prizes for 2,000 pesos each for non-winning winners. And of course, the People's Choice, which is based from your likes on our Facebook page, we have 2,000 pesos for that. Now, let's first award the People's Choice for the photography contest. Here are the 5 entries to our photography contest, and these are the number of likes that you guys have given, which ended yesterday at 5 p.m. So here are the likes. We have 37, 384, 549, 23, and 56, which means entry number 3 is the winner of 2,000 pesos for People's Choice. We have Nursirad P. Mukatil of the MSU Sulu. Unfortunately, he can't come with us this afternoon due to the internet connectivity, but we will be posting and informing him within the day. We will be posting the winners, rather, for the contest within the day. All right. So for the second runner-up, we have entry number 5 from Julius King Vivas of Zulu State College. He will be winning he won 5,000 pesos. I'll just add King on the screen. Okay, I think he got disconnected, but he sent a video for him expressing his thanks on his winning.
Assalamualaikum and good day to each and everyone. I'm Julius King Danan Vivas, 28 years old, faculty member of Sabah State College AS Department.
All right, so that was the video he sent for us this afternoon. He was here in the backstage earlier, but I think he got disconnected. But we have here with us the president of the Sulu State College, Dr. Charisma Sampari Pututalum, for of course to receive the award. And let me just put her on screen. Hi, Doc. Good afternoon. Welcome to CHED-HECBOL.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. One of your students, Julius King Vivas, submitted an entry to our photography contest and he won second runner-up. What can you say about this?
Yes, thank you so much first and foremost, I would like to thank CHED-HECBOL through the leadership of Director Nels Alibin for the invitation today. It is my honor to be here with you. And allow me also to commend the CHED-HECBOL for the efforts and initiative of this activity. We are currently living in a health crisis, but bringing together different higher education institutions help us stay connected, updated, and active, reminding us of our continuing service for the community. The photography and short film contest had not only served as an avenue for skills improvement, but it also tells us the stories of challenges and experience on the ground. It is with pride and honor that I congratulate Mr. Julius King Vivas, winning second runner-up, and I thank you for representing Sulu State College and not only capturing a picture-perfect story, you have also captivated the hearts of the whole region, and you gave another context about Sulu that we are proud to share to the world. And to the rest of the winners, my heartfelt congratulations. Let us continue to harness talents and skills during this pandemic. The world is now demanding new ideas, new perspectives, and new ways of doing things. But one thing we should never change, the definiteness of our purpose. I pray for better things ahead for higher education institution, for CHED-HECBOL, and cheers to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you once again for gracing us with your presence, Dr. Charisma. And on behalf of the Commission on Higher Education and HECBOL project, we would like to present the Certificate of Recognition to Sulu State College. I'll just read the citation. Certificate of Recognition is awarded to Sulu State College for winning second runner-up during the 2020 ASEAN Month celebration CHED-HECBOL's photography contest with the theme Advancing Higher Education in BARM towards a cohesive and responsive ASEAN, given this 31st day of August 2020 at CHED Regional Office 11, Loyola Street, Barrio Obrero, Davao City, signed Director Nelia A. Alibin, the Director 4 of CHED-HECBOL project. And to join me to in awarding this certificate, I would like to call on Director Nelia A. Alibin, and of course our Deputy Executive Director, Attorney Lily Milia, to award this certificate. All right, here we go. And let's
Thank
just
you.
pose for a photo op. And one, two, three.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you po. Maraming salamat.
Thank you po.
Here's your certificate, ma'am. We'll just send it to you via courier, perhaps.
Okay.
All right. Once again, thank you, Dr. Charisma Otutalum, from the president of the Sulu State College, for representing, of course, as well, the higher education institutions in BARM. Thank you very much, Doc.
Thank you.
Thank you, Director Nelia and Attorney Lily. You'll join me again later as we award the certificates and the ranks for each entry. Thank you very much.
Right, we'll be back.
Yes. All right, so now let's proceed to awarding the major prizes of the photography contest. So first up, we have the awarding for the first runner-up. And the winner is Dar Barua Panyorotan of Ibrahim Paglas Memorial College. He will win 8,000 pesos. And I think we have here Dar with us this afternoon. Hi, Dar. Good afternoon.
Afternoon, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.
Yes, what can you say now that you have won 8,000 pesos as first runner-up for the photography contest?
I'm so very overwhelming, sir, because di ako makapaniwala, sir, kasi actually, on the spot po, sir, nung nakita po namin ang photography contest. So, nag-isip po ako kung paano ko gagawa ng concept, and maghahanap din po ako ng mga perfect location, concept and models, and also the tools and equipment para sa gagamitin. So, thank you so much, sir. Then, Allah bless.
what were the challenges that you faced when you created your entry?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Copy.
What were the challenges that you have encountered?
The challenges that I encountered is, yun nga, sir. That time when the HECBOL said post a photography contest, parang mas kailangan gawin ko to kasi sayang yung opportunity para maiyayad ko yung talent and skills ko. Then, yun nga po, naghanap po ako ng perfect location and also the student para makuha na ng pictures. Thank you po.
All right, thank you very much. And I'll call again Attorney Milia and Director Alibin for a quick photo op and congratulatory message for you as well.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Ano nga, sino
Sino
name niya?
Congratulations.
Hi, congratulations.
From what university?
So much, ma'am. Thank you so much.
Dar is from
Ibrahim
College.
From?
Maguindanao.
Ah, very good. Gotcha.
All right, so let's pose for a quick photo op in 3, 2, 1. All right, so once again, congratulations, Dar, from Ibrahim Paglas Memorial College, our first runner-up for the photography contest.
Thank you so much.
Okay, moving on, we'll proceed with the awarding of the the grand prize for the photography contest. And the winner is Ironmar Gay Koime of MSU Main Campus. I think Ironmar cannot join us this afternoon because unfortunately her grandfather had a stroke and she had to go back to the province and she doesn't have internet connectivity there. But we will be informing Ironmar of her winning this afternoon and we'll be, of course, sending the money there for her. All right, so let's now proceed with the awarding, or sorry, we'll go to the short filmmaking contest right now. So here is the criteria for judging. We have production, quality, and technical element, which is 50%. We have originality and creativity for 30%. Content and adherence to theme, that's 20%, for a total of 100%. The entries for the short filmmaking contest are from all HEIs in the country, and from 33 entries, we were able to trim down the list to 17 finalists, which was judged by our judges during the pre-judging day on August 27. Now, the prizes for the short film contests are as follow. The grand prize is 20,000 pesos. The first runner-up will receive 15,000 pesos. The second runner-up will get 10,000 pesos. And the 3 non-winning entries will get 5,000 pesos each as consolation prizes. Now we'll go to the panel of judges who helped us in determining the winner for this contest. First up, we have Mr. Chris Harold Duco, CEO of Chris Duco Films and also an indie filmmaker. We have Engineer Rodrigo Tangantihon Jr., Educational Supervisor 2 of CHED-HECBOL 11. And we have Dr. Engineer Luis D. Perez, Chief Education Program Specialist of CHED-HECBOL Region 11. Now to give you a glimpse of what transpired during the judging day, here's a short video.
first, I would like to thank HECBOL through the leadership of Director Nelia Levin, no, for spearheading the anniversary, no, of the ASEAN 2010th anniversary, and by spearheading also short film making contest. Well, the all entries, no, the 70 entries are well and good, no. The production and technical aspect is good. I think they are following an observation ko, they are following all the spec as provided by the HECBOL. And I also observed that the storyline is all about flexible learning, no. But one thing that I'm trying to look is some storyline that reflects on the ASEAN, no, because the theme of this anniversary is about cohesive, no, cohesive ASEAN, cohesive ASEAN. But it's good that the all presenters or all entries are good, and all I can say is generally maganda naman lahat yung mga entry. Of course, out of the 70s, there is always a winners, no, and I think there will be three winners from among the 17 entries. Thank you.
Hi. 2 thumbs up for a very nice output. No, job well done for the 33 entries, and we have the pre-judged 17 entries now. The output of the students, and some might be with the collaboration with the faculty, are very commendable. No, when it comes to celebration of the ASEAN 2020, the 53rd, no, the storyline actually of some of the entries are really inspiring, no? Especially right now that we are into the new normal. So there are actually 3, no, among the entries that I really attached, no, from the start until the end, because the storyline, the way the what do you call this? The presentation, no, of the material is really very good, no? Especially on making the viewers really tawag ito, yung ano sa ano mo ba, no? Yung tatago sa puso mo, no? May mga ano doon na very simple yung pag-present, very simple yung story, but may dating siya, no? At the end, mapapanganga ka ba, no? Napana ka. So some are entertaining, no? May mga comedy din na flavor, so maganda. And then some mapapaluha ka, no? may mga ano din na maging emotional ka while watching those entries. So job well done, no? for the filmmaking competition. So congratulations, and I hope mag-continue yung may mga aspirants, no, to be filmmakers in the future, kasi ang ganda ng output niya. So congratulations.
A good day sa ating lahat. I'm very proud na isa ako sa mga nag-judge sa mga ginawa niyong short film. Alam namin pinaghihirapan niyo ang mga pelikula ninyo at nagbuhos talaga kayo ng matinding effort para magawa ito. Actually, nahirapan kami sa pagpili kung sino talaga yung mananalo. But for me, para sa akin walang duda, yung napili ko talagang pasalong-pasado siya. Para talagang nanood ako ng isang indie film na short film. Ano ba yan? Isang indie film na maikli lamang. Nagustuhan ko ang pelikulang ito dahil sobrang galing ng pagkakagawa. Yung content, yung metaphor, symbolism, at etc. Alam ko, lahat naghirap para magawa yung short film nila, pero talagang ito yung nangibabaw. So para sa lahat, congratulations at patuloy nyo na yung paggawa ng pelikula dahil alam ko, ito yung passion ninyo. Thank you.
So without further ado, here is the winning entry as second runner-up for our short film making contest.
Magandang umaga sa lahat. Welcome to Filipino 40. First meeting natin ito, no? Kaya ipapaalala ko lang sa inyo ang Zoom protocols natin. So una, turn on your cameras. Ito ay para malaman ko na nandito talaga kayo at nakikibahagi sa aking panayam. Pangalawa, mute your microphones please. I-on nyo lang kung may itatanong kayo o kung may nais kayong ibahagi ukol sa ating paksang tinatalakay. Ngunit, para hindi magkasabay-sabay ang pagsasalita, gumamit tayo ng raise hand feature ng Zoom. Meron dyan yan. Kung natawag ko kayo, doon na kayo maaaring mag-unmute. Panatilihing naka-raise hand hanggat hindi pa natatawag. Okay ba yun? So, like sign tayo kung okay tayo doon ha. Ayan, sige. Dito naman tayo sa pangatlo. I-share screen ko ang aking PowerPoint presentation. Pero huwag kayong mag-alala kung nag-hang ang inyong mga computer o kung nagbabuffer ang inyong internet. Mag-upload ako ng PDF copy ng aking PowerPoint presentation pagkatapos ng klase. Maaari nyo itong balikan at busisihin. Kung may mga tanong, i-text nyo lang ako. Susubukan kong makapag-reply agad-agad kung wala akong ibang inaatupag na trabaho. At ang pang-apat naman, ang pinaka-importante, may attendance ako ha. Isang beses lang naman bawat linggo ang aking panayam, kaya kinakailangan nandito kayo. Kung 6 absences policy ng ating universidad ang magaganap, pwede naman akong magpa-excuse kung sakali talaga kayo makaka-attend. Magsabi lang kayo, okay lang. So may mga tanong pa ba? Pwede niyong simulan gamitin ang raise hand o chat box ngayon. Kung wala, mag-thumbs up tayo para magsimula. Okay, yan. Mika, ano nga ba ang Mika?
The subscriber cannot be reached.
So ayun, dahil doon, nabuo ang superior hypothesis. Ang wika ay nagpapakita ng mundong pananaw. Alright, so maraming salamat class.
Hello Pat, huwag kang mag-alala sa attendance. Di naman ako strict doon.
There you have it, the second runner-up for this short film making contest of CHED-HECBOL. We have Peter Alray Gailon, who just won 10,000 pesos as second runner-up. I'll add him to the screen right now. And hey Alray, good afternoon. Congratulations for winning.
Hello, good afternoon. Good afternoon, sir. Thank you so much for the opportunity as well to CHED and HECBOL.
Yeah, I'm quite curious on what were the challenges that you have encountered while making your short film.
Actually, to start with, it was the time actually, the time spent because the time that we went, we stumbled through the revised mechanics and the revised guidelines with the new theme. It
Mm-hmm.
was 2 days before the deadline actually, and then me and the writer of the story and Lacan Alegre, we were conversing on whether are we going to push through. Pero at the end of the day, we decided to clutch it and say, anyway, this is our passion. This is something that we enjoy doing, and the experience with all that, it's something that we couldn't experience in a day-to-day basis. So yun, we just pushed through it, and with all the people with it as well. My sister, we also lacked resources kasi well the time, and it's GCQ in our area, so we're not allowed to go on streets, go to locations. We were very limited with the locations, with the time, and then the materials that we could actually use in the film. So ayun, and I even the one who acted as the main character was just my sister. We had a Zoom with the other casts, so parang it was very limited. At the same time, it was an experience that I could also learn from in many ways.
Yeah, and it's a good thing that you still went through with producing the film despite
Yun
the
nga.
difficulty. Um, any plans on what you will be doing with the cash prize?
Actually, this one of this film is one of the low budget films that we actually make, and in making films, we really tend to spend one way or another, and I foresee as the things with the award, it would be really a great help into motivating me, and at the same time my colleagues, as we continue making short films and expanding the production and so on and so forth, especially in this pandemic nowadays. Na well, prior to pandemic, I usually do events. Now, the pandemic actually limited our sources into that area in that industry. So it's really a great help to pursue and continue and make more films and share more advocacies and message across the platform.
All right, your answer is very inspiring. You'll use the money to further your advocacies and your hobbies. That's very good. Anyone
Yes,
you
po.
want to thank?
Yeah, I would want to thank, first of all, I would want to thank CHED-HECBOL actually for giving us the opportunity, and then again, motivating us into do all these things now, despite the pandemic that's going on nowadays and all the issues worldwide. And at the same time, I would want to thank my friends who have been so supportive, teachers as well. That last minute, it was a really last minute. It was on the spot. We had to call them. We need you now. We need ganito ganyan. And at the same time, my sister, whom I just randomly called up, that we need an actress, we need a lead. And then my friends, ayun, my family who has been so supportive nevertheless. And the writer of the story, Mr. Lacan Alegre, who actually um, was very optimistic as well that we could do this, we could finish this, and was really cooperative in all ways. And yun nga, it really helped in pushing us forward to be determined into finishing this film. And of course, the Lord up above for inspiring me and then showering His blessings and all these people around me to be instruments in making this milestone even possible.
All right, congratulations once again. I'll be
Thank you so
calling
much.
Director Nelia and Attorney Milia, but I think Attorney Milia got disconnected. Yeah. So let's pose for a quick photo op. Eyes on the camera, and 3, 2, 1. All right. Thank you very
All
much, and
right.
congratulations once again.
Congratulations, Peter Alre.
Thank you po.
Oh, I can see Attorney Milia logging in. All right, let's just do one photo again.
All
Hi, Attorney
right.
Milia. All right, let's pose for a quick photo op in 3, 2, 1. All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Congratulations once again.
Congratulations.
Thank you po.
Congratulations.
Thank you po.
Okay, let's now proceed to the first runner-up for our short filmmaking contest. Here's the winning entry.
Anong pangalan mo?
Ako po si Juan De Torio, 21 taong gulang at ito po ang aking kwento.
Hello, I am Jan Rivera, 21 years old, and this is my life story.
Kumusta ang buhay at pag-aaral mo?
Nakakaraos naman po sa awa ng Diyos. Nagpapadyak po ako, pero nag-aaral po ako.
Well, my education status right now is pretty okay. Happily, I purchased a new laptop and installed the Wi-Fi connection in our home because for my online class.
Naghanap po ako ng scholarship. Salamat po sa Diyos na kapasa.
Honestly, I donated some of my old stuff like cell phone and laptop for those people who are in need. I'm used to donating stuff, obviously.
And ano po ako ngayon, nagtitipon po para sa online class. Yung ano daw, wala na kasi ngayon yung face-to-face kasi yung pandemya.
My mom gave me enough money, so I decided to donate some like school materials from my chosen public schools because I really love to help people.
And masaya naman po kahit paano nakakaraos. And nagtitipon po ako, gamit ko yung kita ko po sa pagpapadyak. And mabuti nga po meron ngayon yung nag-donate po nung may cellphone po ako ngayon para sa amin. Salamat po sa nag-donate po salamat po.
Right, because what's happening right now in our society, being generous is very necessary.
And kahit kakarampot po yung na kita po, nakapapalad din po, nakabili po ng bigas, ng nilala pag sa araw-araw, katulong sa pamilya. And yun po, masaya naman po. Tapos, patuloy lang po tayo, kahit mahirap, para sa pangarap.
And also, oftenly, I boost the advocacy of our government to aware the people for the new learning because in the midst of this crisis, we have to adapt and we have to move forward.
Magkaiba man ang ating pinanggalingan, ngunit isa lang ang tinatahak na daan. Sa ngalan ng edukasyon, magkaisa tayo. Iba't iba man ang ating estado, iisa ang hangarin ng tao para sa pamilya, pangarap at sa mundo.
There you have it, guys. The winning entry as first runner-up to our short film making contest. We have Leo Labrador from Mariners Polytechnic College Foundation in Legazpi, Albay. We actually have the two lead actors here with me on StreamYard. Hi, good afternoon, Leo. Hello? You have no audio. Hello? Yeah, once again, congratulations for winning as first runner-up to our short film making contest. Hello? We can still hear you. Hello? Can you try ejecting the earphones? Maybe we can hear something. Yeah, hello? Can you hear me now?
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you. So how do you feel that you won first runner-up to our short film making contest?
Did you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Honestly po, right now, di po nagsisingin po sa amin that we won the contest because out of 33 entries, if I'm not mistaken, and it was so overwhelming and honored to be part of the short film of CHED-HECBOL.
Who's beside you? Who's joining you this afternoon?
I'm joining with my friend. He's the one who did
the one who edited and the videographer of the short film. We're the two behind the short film, 120. Ang kwento ni Juan, mukha ng buhay sa magkaibang mundo.
Okay. All right. Congratulations again to the both of you. Any person or institution that you would want to thank?
First of all, we would like to thank those people who helped us, especially our professor, the one who recommended us to join this contest. Sir and Arman, thank you both for, because it was only 2 days left before the submission, so it was a rush and so stressing. However, we accept the challenge. And of course, to all my friends out there who helped us, the cast, the supporting cast of the short film, Princess Borromeo, that's Oho, Big Marquez, and all of my commander squad there. And of course, to our school, Mariners Polytechnic College Foundation, for the support and for the help, of course. And most of all, for the CHED-HECBOL, for the opportunity and for the recognition for us. Such an honor and a privilege for us.
All right. Leo, once again, congratulations. And I'd like to call in Director Nelia and Attorney Lily for a quick photo op. Right. Okay. Let's do a photo op in 3, 2, 1, smile. All right. Congratulations once again, Leo Labrador.
Thank you, Bob.
Congratulations, Leo.
All right. Now let's move to the awarding of the grand prize for the short filmmaking contest of CHED-HECBOL. So here's the winning entry. And that was our grand prize winner for the short filmmaking contest of CHED-HECBOL. We have Krisha May Monte from Governor Alfonso D. Tan College in Tangob City, Misamis Occidental. She's not able to to join us this afternoon, but we have here her advisor, Mr. Nimrod L. Rosauro, to represent her. Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, Jeet. Good afternoon. Can you
Hi,
hear
good
me?
afternoon, sir. Yes, I can hear you.
Finally, good to see you. So this is the reason why you keep on calling and texting us. Okay.
Yes, to follow up on
So
the attendance. Yeah. All right.
yes, I honestly don't know what to say right now, but I would like to thank you, number one, Ched and Hekbol, for this very amazing opportunity. Who would have thought that this small local college from Misamis Occidental, Tangub City, can be able to produce this kind of short film? And thank you so much for this opportunity. Do you have anything to ask, Jean?
I have a question. What does Krisha plan to do with the money, with her winnings?
Okay, right. She honestly don't know yet as of the moment, and I always keep on advising her to invest this money on projects like this in the future, like purchasing another equipments probably for the betterment of the production. But I think she's crying right now, and for some reason she cannot really be able to attend this event because she's actually in quarantine. I'm the film advisor for this project, and I would like to thank you once again, our brilliant film director, Krisha May Monte, our screenplayers, Glidel and Sofia, and of course our actors, Meko Rafael, Dieter, April Me, Mika, and of course Governor Alfonso Ditan College here in Tangog City, Misamis Occidental, my fellow instructors at the AB Communication Program. Uh, we have my very good friend Juris Rita Seklot and Miss Sharon Bazar. In behalf of the Institute and our college, thank you so much, Chad and Heckball, for this opportunity. You guys are amazing.
Thank you very much, Sir Nimrod. And once again, congratulations to you and to Krisha. I'd like to call
Thank
again
you.
Dr. Nelia and Attorney Lily for a quick photo op. All right. So smile in 3, 2, 1. All right. So once again, congratulations, Sir
Hello.
Nimrod.
Thank you, Jean.
All right. So congratulations to all the winners and to our non-winning winners, but we will be informing you if you are qualified for the consolation prize. To end this program, I would like to call in Attorney Lily Milia, our Deputy Executive Director and Director 3 of International Affairs Staff Office of the Commission on Higher Education, for her congratulatory message.
Thank you. And again, big congratulations and commendation to the HECBOL office led by Dr. Nelia Alibin. It was truly a wonderful effort on your part and a laudable effort to come up with this with the activities even at a short
period of times. Maraming salamat also, Nels, and the rest of the HECBOL office for your support. Congratulations to the winners of the photography and the video making contest. It was truly so worthwhile to look to see the talents and how rich the talents that we have, especially in our regional HEIs. When Director Nels told me that she's going to hold the closing ceremonies at the end on today, on August 31, I thought it was a holiday, and I was really looking forward to a long weekend. But thank you, Nels, really, from pulling me out of my of of my holiday, because these 30 minutes were truly one of the most fulfilling 30 minutes as a CHED official. Our work is tough, very very tough, especially now during the pandemic with the work from home. But seeing how enormous the talents are from our HEIs, the wonderful opportunities that we can provide them, given only given only programs and activities that can bring out the talent in them, we know that our work is not in vain, and truly you're worth every reason to take for this holiday, for me to work on a holiday, because it's not work, it's fulfilling service to our bomb region, to the HECBOL, and to the rest of the higher education institutions. It is also noteworthy that you hold this during the holiday, the National Heroes Day, because we believe that the youth today are our heroes of the future. We bequeath to you an uncertain future, but we can only do the work now and do it the best that we can so that we can prepare you for this future. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng inyong suporta. Napakahirap na gawin ang mga ginawa nyo sa panahong ito ng pandemya, but you did not just do it, you delivered marvelously. And we look forward to the celebration and the commemoration next year. I know that HECBOL will be a force to reckon with. Director Nels, probably next year we'll have a regional competition. We only had a regional competition this year, but I think next year we can already have a national competition, and all your efforts, all the regional efforts for these years are um, are being taken forward, so that we'll have a grander, more memorable, um, um, celebration of the 54th. Next year is the 54th founding anniversary of ASEAN. And lastly, let me commend the winner of the short film, because truly in that few minutes you captured why we are doing all the work that we're doing on internationalization and ASEAN community building. Because despite the diversity, despite the pandemic, despite all the confusion and the politics, it is only through unity that we can. It is only through unity that we can truly make a big difference in what we're doing and come up with a better, brighter, more united world. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
Once again, thank you very much, Attorney Emilia, for gracing us with your presence this afternoon. All right, so on that note, I'm bringing back my partner here on StreamYard. Hi, Miss Eden. Good afternoon.
Hello, Sir Jane. Good afternoon.
Yes, so this will not only be the culminating activity for the ASEAN celebration of CHED-HECBOL, but this will also be the end for our season one of the CHED-HECBOL webinars. We know you guys have been wanting more webinars. We're sorry to break your 1 p.m. Habit during Wednesdays, but we have to say goodbye for just quite a while for us to focus more on the other deliverables of the project and the team. But we would want to express our thanks to the many individuals and to the higher educations in BARM not only in Bar but also in other places in the country who have really been watching and talagang sumubaybay sa ating webinars every 1 p.m. ng pakapag Wednesday. Tama po ba, Miss Eden?
That's right, Sir Jean. And they have this what we call HECBOL fever every Wednesday. So it's hard to say goodbye for the season 1, but we look forward for another event or a training with the BARM faculty members. And of course, I'd like to thank also Sir Jean, our very competent and highly credible speakers from, of course, webinar 1 to webinar 15. Yeah, so thank you very much, everyone, for the great opportunity you have given us for the HECBOL, for the BARM region, and for higher institutions as a whole. So thank you very much, sirs and ma'ams.
And on that note, I would like to thank everybody on behalf of the CHED chairperson, Prospero J. De Vera III, our chairperson, and the director for HECBOL project, Dr. Nelia A. Alibin, our other co-team members in the HECBOL, Ms. Eden and I, Yani and FF. We thank you very much for attending our webinars and for your support as well, and for liking and sharing our posts on Facebook and YouTube. So thank you very much, and we wish you a very great holiday in the remaining hours of the holiday, and we wish to see you soon next time. We will be ending with a song entitled "We Are Unity."
I have a dream of what I wanna be. I wanna be free. That's what my heart keeps telling me. Give me your hand.
We'll find a way.
There's people out there
to feel the same.
if we help each other. I just know we can succeed. We are one, but we are different. We from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl. Come together and share our dreams. Be amongst the stars, and we know that it's destiny. And we are unity. We are unity.
I do believe, oh, I believe in destiny. It's up to me to make it into reality.
Give me your hand.
We'll find a way.
People out there
that feel the same.
if we help each other. I just know we can succeed. We are one, but we are different. We're from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl. Come together and share our dreams. We be amongst the stars, and we know that it's destiny. We are unity. No matter where you're from or who you are, we can find a common place to be that we are friends. We are one, but we are different. We're from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. Oh, we are one, but we are different. We're from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl. Come together and share our dreams. We be amongst the stars, and we